Hello, 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 everybody, and
Hello.
welcome to the Crust Flopcast, where we do try and talk about video games when we're not, bullshitting our way through
I don't know what you're talking about.
it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, joining me is my lovely co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, is the one, the only. It's Damo.
Hello, everybody.
And where can people find you?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/itsdamoo. You can find me over on TikTok, itsdamootv. And over on Twitter is twitter.com/bodywithknows.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks, folks, with with big releases like Dragon Ball Sparking coming out recently as well, and Metaphor as well. Basically quite a few others. It certainly seems to be the month of interesting games. Obviously, I personally think Game of the Year, Squirrel with a Gun. But yeah. I had to double read what King said then.
Objection, no cap. My client is not guilty.
No, what he
Bullshit,
said
I
after
guess.
that.
I'm getting sparking.
I had to double check that. I thought he said. I read that because I quickly read it at first. I went, wait, he's getting spanking for his birthday on Wednesday? I'm like, hold up. What? It's like, is this something you want to tell us, bud? I've been hanging out with Damo and Saphira pretty much all morning, folks, so...
Yep.
Give you a general idea on my thought process.
Bitch.
Don't bitch me, you know I'm right.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, a very interesting couple of weeks. So, with that being said, though, Damo, what the fuck you been playing?
Mainly some ESO for the King 2, naturally. Planet Crafter, we've been doing that a bit on stream, getting back into that. Sims, actually, because I'm trying to get the little pass that they have currently to complete that. And now I need a death flower, and it's been annoying because you can only get it by splicing and grafting two plants together.
Alchemy, Legasp.
I know, right? But no, it's not alchemy. You have to graft two plants together to get it.
It essentially is alchemy.
Yeah, potato.
Here's a stick. Here's a 12 gauge shotgun.
Oh my god, what the fuck? So yeah, I think that's like pretty much all I've been really like playing. Literally over the last 2 weeks specifically.
Yep.
And I will be getting on Silent Hill 2 remake to get past that fucking puzzle because it's been driving me insane.
Oh my
A
goodness.
friend of mine thought that it was good luck to get spanked once for every year you were born on your birthday. I hated it. It was like avoiding someone all day because April Fool's pranks. I mean, that's fair.
Oh, lordy lord.
I think they were just trying to tell you that they've got a spanking thing.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, King. But yeah, me, I've been, well, as many of you have seen, I've been tackling kind of a variety of things over the past couple of weeks. We actually finished the main part of the Cursed Name run on Legends Arceus, which was a lot of fun. I've also been playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, Metaphor, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Honkai Star Rail, Bleach Brave Souls, a bit of Gundam Breaker 4, Squirrel with a Gun, a little bit of DBD. I've also been on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a little bit of Pokemon Unite.
Nice.
So yeah, a bit of a variety, folks. To say the least.
Mhm.
And in regards of metaphor, actually, before we actually get fully started, I
Mhm.
do want to actually give my own little review on the game after playing it for about nearly 4 hours. So, a lot of people were basically hyping the game up, saying that is essentially going to be the next big Persona series, and people were labeling it Persona-esque, stuff like that, left, right, and center. And it's like, I'd not really looked at any videos on it because I was wanting to avoid, so then I could actually have a fresh perspective. I have to say, all those people that are claiming Persona-esque, this, that, and the other, I'm going to say, you are 100% wrong. Everyone that's overhyping the game, you are wrong. Now,
Oh.
what does it mean by me saying overhyping the game is wrong? Because of the success of the Persona series, any game that's kind of be like that is going to essentially get a lot of attention, which is nothing wrong. However, when you then start to label any game that has even a hint of something like any of the Shin Megami Tensei series as Persona, you then don't know what you're talking about, and you maybe need to do your research before you then actually start throwing words around. Now, as a result of a lot of these things that people were saying, I wasn't really too sure what to make of the game.
Mhm.
However, when I actually started playing it, I actually saw that it has no right to compare it to Persona. It has no right actually doing that, and I personally feel that the fact that so many people keep doing that is an injustice on the game itself. It's a great game in its own right, and people need to chill the fuck out in regards of it. Do I think the game deserves the overhype? No, because they're overhyping for the wrong reasons. Do I think people maybe need to take a step back and actually look at things differently? Yes. King saying JoJo but less fruity. That's a fair assumption, but I'm gonna have to stop. I think that's about as much as I will say in regards to JoJo as comparison to that one. Basically, if you're going to compare it to any other Shin Megami Tensei game, I would have to go closer towards Nocturne. Mainly because the fact that the actual characters can actually change their class. And you could actually do that in Nocturne. Alright, so that's my gripes kind of out the way. And why do I think the game does not deserve to be thrown in on the Persona hype? Because I believe the game deserves its own praise for its own reasons. The game is actually good on its own. If people didn't know it was Atlas that did it, I imagine the game would actually do well, very much well on its own. The gameplay, actually very good. It starts off looking like it's going to be like a type of hack and slash type thing. That's what I kind of saw it being at first. But then I found out that when you attack the enemy in the overworld, you then basically can stun it, and if you attack it multiple times, you'll fill up the stun gauge. Some obviously get insta-stunned, some don't. And then actually, when you do stun them, then you can follow up with then a full-on attack from the party, which I think is very good. Gameplay-wise, I like the way it's going. I like the way it feels. Graphically, I think it also goes very well because it's very medieval-esque, yet also has some leans, what I would say, to some elements of steampunk, but also some other things as well. I recommend people actually look into it so then you can actually make your own. No, I wouldn't say like Chain of Memories. No, I wouldn't say that. The dubbing of it, I actually do like because there's a lot of people I've not actually heard of before. I looked into the voice actors, and I've got to say, I like what they've done so far, voice-wise. Story-wise, it is very, very interesting. I am very curious how they're going to go about things. Because where I'm at currently, I have to basically assassinate a guy to save a prince, and apparently the guy's put a curse on this prince, to which he only has a few days left to live now. And it looks like there's various like people, various types of races in the game, and the main enemy, the main monsters are called humans.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm like, huh. And then the main human enemy that you fight initially, as basically just slaughtered a load of soldiers. I'm like, oh, would you look at that? Humans destroying lives. So that's not a deeper message, if there ever was one. But yeah, no. Do I think Metaphor deserves the overhype? No. Because it's the wrong type of hype. Do I think the game deserves the hype of its own kind? Very much so. Very much so. I'm definitely looking forward to how the story goes. And I'm definitely looking forward to all the different types of classes I can actually use. Because based on the scale, based on what I saw, it looks like there are a lot of classes. So we can end up with some ones that are part magic, part warrior. Some that are like part tank magic, part tank support, part support fighter, stuff like that. I'm looking forward to seeing how far and in depth they go on that. And I'm liking some of the backstory that they're going with in regards of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the main protagonist is holding a book, and the way and the pictures that it shows in the book, it shows essentially our world, but there's no racism, there's no wars or anything like that. Everyone is able to live an equal life and peacefully. And it's like, huh, that's interesting. So Metaphor is a very good game, but not for the reasons the internet is hyping it up for. I'd say it's actually good in all the right reasons, whereas the internet is, and a lot of news outlets are being wrong. So, if you've looked into any reports that you've seen of Metaphor, ignore them. If you get the chance, there is demos of it, play the game yourself and come to your own conclusion. And that's all I'll say in regards of Metaphor. I do think, overall, I'd give the game, in terms of out of 10, I would give the game an 8 out of 10. Reason why I say 8 is because I've not seen everything yet and I want to see it, so I'm withholding giving a full, my full judgment on the game. When I complete the game, I'll probably then come back to it later on and then give you guys more info on how I felt. So yeah. Damo, do you want to start us off with an article?
Actually, I will. Now, this one's more just for what the fuck, but also I find it kind of personally funny. So, Chaos, you know the article I was reading out just before we started?
Yes.
Where the headline for this is literally, find love and abandon God with this $20,000 fully customizable Baldur's Gate 3 Astarion sex doll.
Fucking. Oh.
Now, the article itself is from PCGamer.com, but this article in itself is fucking hilarious.
A sex doll, seriously?
Yeah, so this came out on the 10th, admittedly.
Yeah.
But I only got wind of this because TikTok. initially, so I was like, nah, this isn't. So I decided, I decided to Google it basically.
Uh-huh.
So this is how the article literally starts out. Also, if you want to hire me after my imminent firing, let me know. Friends, this may be the last you hear from me. As I speak, I suspect PC Gamer's IT department is drafting an email to PC Gamer's HR department. The subject? A list of websites visited by Joshua Wolans on his work browser between 1500 and 1600 on October 10th, 2024. And fair enough, frankly, because I have absolutely visited an above standard number of custom sex doll sites in the last hour or so. The reason? A retweet from Larian CEO Sven Vinsky, calling attention to what is, for the life of me, 100% a custom sex doll of Baldur's Gate 3's Astarion.
Oh, lordy lord.
Or, well, let's be specific, it's a retweet of a screenshot of another screenshot of a review of a custom Astarion sex doll by one satisfied customer. This is an amazing doll, very well made. Details are phenomenal, says our Astarion fan. The only problem is the makers didn't quite capture his likeness properly. He got the one skin color and pointy ears, sure, but he's a little more heavy set and less long of face than everyone's favorite Baldur's Gate 3 vampire boy. The buyer wasn't completely satisfied with the custom head, sadly, they say, which wasn't quite in line with the 3D file they'd given to the doll's maker, a 3D file perhaps taken from, a video game. Still, they gave the whole thing 4 out of 5 stars overall, so I guess the doll was ultimately fit for purpose. What interested me, honest, was the cost. How much does a life-size, fully actuated vampire set you back these days? The retweet suggested it had cost them $20,000, but I couldn't take that as gospel. I'm a hard-bitten investigative journalist, a real Woodward and Bernstein type. I need to verify the info for myself. Alas, the site the post came from made it hard to say. The original post even tells readers not to ask where the screenshot came from, adding to its aura of mystery. After some digging and a lot of visiting websites that someone senior is definitely going to have a word with me about, I found the source. The review was of a custom doll from a site called, obviously not going to give website because,
Yeah.
it's part of the name. Anyway, the following link is
Just
profoundly radically NSFW Spartan Lover. So where it's highlighted on the article, you can click on it. So the link is there if you wanted to go and see it. The price of such a doll, $10,498 minimum.
fucking hell.
Yeah, ordinarily, though, it's currently on sale for $3,499 off. Once you've gone through the accoutrements, you can customize every inch, including the actuation, body hair, and, size. You can easily double that price. It wouldn't surprise me if Tiffany's Astarion really did cost 20,000 or more once all was said and done. And you know what? Good for them.
So
Far be it from me to judge anyone for how they spend their money and what they do
hang on.
and with.
Hang on. So it's not one built specifically for. So it's not like a specific Astarion sex doll. It's a custom sex doll that can be
Yes.
then made into.
Yes.
And someone's used it to make Astarion.
Yes. I will send you the link to the post. Chaos.
Oh lord.
So you can have a look at it yourself very quickly.
Oh,
Because when I saw this,
please.
I've sent it to your DMs. When I saw this, now bear in mind, it only showed a face and like the top part of the chest, right? They didn't do too badly on the face,
Oh, good lord.
and I may have a thing for him, but personally, that's just not me. I wouldn't go out and buy a sex doll.
That that doesn't look right. I'm gonna just say this. That doesn't look right.
No, that's what I mean. Like, they haven't done too badly, but I don't know what it is. I think it's the hair.
It's a combination of things. for me.
And like the eye shape.
I just, it just doesn't look right.
But in their defense, they got given a game file, literally, to do this with.
Oh, lordy fucking lord. Some people just... It's
Yep,
fun.
yep.
It's funny, but it is slightly concerning at the same time. It is concerning at the same time. Like, I get for like having some form of like memorabilia or stuff from like your favorite characters or what have you, but a sex doll?
My guy.
I
But I can also understand it, because if I could spend 20 grand without it deeply affecting my finances, I probably would have done the same.
No, you wouldn't. You'd have actually you'd have actually spent that 20 grand to get some voice stuff to which you will then have fun with.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you would have put it to something else, not a sex doll.
No, the lines, like, you know, I'm just... This chocolate is really nice.
Just taking a
Abort mission, abort mission.
Hey, you took us on this road, alright? I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. Alright? I'm just pointing
May
out.
as well follow through now, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But I would go to a different person to make it so it actually looks and sounds like Astarion.
Oh, fucking hell.
Genuinely.
Uh,
But then I also realise I'd have to put in every single bit of work.
yeah, not gonna lie. I honestly don't think it'd be worth it. Like, because knowing you, Damo, and no offense or anything, but if you had that, you would probably end up at one day, if you're feeling low, you would end up going, I feel so alone.
Yeah, no, literally. I mean, I kind of do that now anyway, but like, you know.
You would feel worse because you then spent 20 grand on this.
Exactly.
When you could have spent
When
on
I could
so
spend-
many other things.
Yeah, like an Astarion body pillow, so I've got something to cut.
That would cost even less than that, Damo.
Exactly, it costs like 80 quid, and I'm just like, oh, bro, come on, like, what? I actually sent that Etsy link to my dad for the fucking, like, body pillow, and my dad's like, no, I'm not spending that amount on a body pillow, and I'm like, yeah, but, and he was like, yeah, but
No.
nothing, and I'm just like, why? He's like, you do realise if you flip it over, he's naked, and I was like, oh, I should have sent that to someone else.
I should have sent that to someone else, but I still like it.
Yeah, exactly, I was just like, no, I've got no shame.
Yeah, no
Okay,
shit, Sherlock.
I have no fucking shame at this point.
No
So I'm
shit.
just like, yeah, but I'll get a lot of use out of it. He's like, I don't want to know. I said, not like that, you fucking moron.
You
I
can't
like
blame.
cuddling things.
You can't blame him for thinking that when literally on the other side is literally naked. You can't blame him for thinking that. If it was fully
Like-
clothed both sides, it'd be a different matter. Oh, fucking Jesus. Oh, God.
I still want that body pillow, by the way.
Just when I thought you fucking fans couldn't get any more down bad, you then go ahead
It's
and...
not even that. I like to cuddle things when I'm asleep. Like, I want and have to have this thing of being a big spoon
No,
when I
it's...
share a bed with someone.
No, it's...
And I like doing it.
No, it's the whole fucking sex doll thing. It's like, bruh, there's some people that may want to reconsider their values.
I mean,
Not,
hey,
alright, not shame. Alright, before anyone says anything, I'm not shaming. It's just a bit much.
it's a lot of information all at once, sort of thing.
It's a bit much, and the thought process is something I can't quite get around. Nor,
Like,
but
I've known...
this. Hang on, this might be part of the fact that I, you know, could not justify spending 20k
Oh, no,
on
that's
something
why
like
I
that.
made that's the thing, though, Chaos. That's why I made the point of if I knew it wouldn't destroy my finances.
No, even if
billionaire.
Here's the thing: even if we literally had that amount of money, I honestly don't think I could justify that. Like, here's a question I want to point out. Right. The person that got that right. If say they were to do that of one of the female characters, say if they were to do of Karlach, would it be looked upon in the same hilarity?
Probably.
No, because the internet would then turn around and go, ew, gross.
Those people.
Yeah. We're
always going to get those type of people.
We're laughing because...
we will see the hilarity in it.
Yeah, that's because it's us. Yeah.
Yeah, so if anything, like, I'm not going to judge this person for doing it, because if it's genuinely not breaking the bank and it's not going to financially destroy them, good on you.
I've also got a question. I'd also like to actually sit down and have a talk with him. I'd ask him probably one question.
Okay.
Does it actually feel good?
Probably.
Because that's the one thing, like, well, that's the one question we've not actually, like, thought on, like, does it actually feel good?
It depends on the person.
I know, that's the thing. It's like that would be why, like, that's why I'd said I'd speak to that person and actually ask, does it actually feel good for the purpose you're using it for? If it's a yes, then fair enough, and that'll be the end of it.
Of course.
The price tag is still something I could never ever get over, but I mean, not gonna lie, if I had 20k, I'd be putting it to other uses, i.e., family.
Well, yeah,
and then it would be, and then I'd get a message from Damo. It's like, hey, can I call you asking something? Chaos, you know you love me.
I haven't done that in so long now.
Yes, because I've got no fucking money as well, because I'm not working.
No, that's not the case at all, actually. It's because, like, that joke kind of, like, died down for me quite a bit, so I was like, it's cool. Like, will I say it every now and again just to be a pain in the ass and to be a cheeky little shit? Of course. Do I mean anything by it? No.
No, but still, though, it's like... But again, though,
the fact is, you bought me Elden Ring so I could prove a fucking point, which I absolutely went and fucking smashed through the park, my guy. Yeah.
I mean, you know me.
But you didn't have to do that.
I mean, you know me.
And I
still
appreciate it.
You know me. I like to go above and beyond for a point.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I think we could take from that article. I think I speak for both of us when I say this. To the person that actually spent that much on it, I hope it was honestly worth it. I hope you honestly don't regret that. If you actually are enjoying it, and it's lived up to what you were hoping for, then good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we'll leave that on that one.
Yeah. So do you want to do an article next?
I've got one, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, from the bizarre to the legal.
Oh.
PlayStation Plus forced by law to make change we've all been begging for. This is coming from the Gaming Bible. So, apparently, there's for a long time people have basically been wanting PlayStation Plus to step up its game somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, the FTC recently ratified something that they're referring to as the right to click to cancel. In short, this means that it's now going to be a lot easier for consumers to cancel subscriptions for online services. Why is it going to affect Sony? Well, apparently this is, and this is coming from apparently PlayStation's Lifestyles, Michael Ruiz. I apologise for the name.
Yeah.
Apparently it's an absolute... Well, to everyone that actually does PlayStation Plus, it's an absolute pain in the backside to cancel your PlayStation Plus subscriptions. It has been for ages.
Oh, yeah.
and when you go to cancel your subscription option, you have to go through 5 different screens before you're able to navigate to one that actually allows you to cancel the active PS Plus subscription.
Can confirm.
Yeah. And 2 of the screens were basically to entice you to not cancel.
Yeah.
But under the FTC's new ruling, all of that is going to be a thing of the past, when you'll just basically simply click cancel and boom, cancelled. Of course, the law isn't directly aimed at Sony and will likely affect other video game companies too, but does seem that like the type of egregious loopholes you have to jump through for PlayStation systems are exactly the kind of thing the click to cancel ruling was aiming to target in the first place. So if you're looking to actually cancel your PlayStation Plus subscription, it's looking like it's going to be a lot more easier, because the FTC are actually going, no, it should not be this fucking difficult. I get obviously sometimes like companies maybe adding like a couple of extra screens to make sure that you didn't click it by mistake. I get that, and if that's what they were aiming for, and if they were aiming for that initially, then if that's what PlayStation were aiming to do, then fair enough. I can understand that, because you know what it's like sometimes, like you go to do something, you get up and a button gets pressed, and then oh no, something bad might have happened. Or say if a dog or a cat gets on and then starts like doing stuff, accidental button presses, it does happen to all of us.
Oh yeah.
Because there's not going to be a surface that doesn't get touched or knocked where the controller then will just accidentally press a button or have it held. So, is it a good thing to basically make it so the pain in the ass way of cancelling the subscription services, is that going to be a thing in the past? It's a good thing, but you then have to consider the ways they may have actually tried to prevent accidental cancellations. And how far will the cancellation actually go? Will you then get your money back for what would be left?
No, typically you don't.
Well, on that basis then, what's the point of cancelling it? You might as well just let it run and just make sure it doesn't auto-renew,
Well, this is the thing. Like, when you cancel it, it'll be like, say you've paid for the month and you've decided to cancel it because you know ahead of time you can't afford it next month, for example.
Yeah, but
a lot of companies do allow you to keep it until it runs out.
Yeah, but that's like the thing. It's like, that's why I'm not asking. It's like, is their click to cancel thing means that it's cancelled immediately, or does it let it run out to the end of the month? Is that what is aiming here? If it's aiming to basically just cancel it outright and basically mean that you don't keep the stuff until the end of the month, then I'm pretty sure that's going to piss off a lot of people.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because, to be fair, it's not actually specified what it's actually going to be. And that's something I think, maybe the FTC and a few other people maybe need to be clear on in regards to this type of stuff. I get, obviously, knowing the FTC, what it probably is cancelling stuff which the kids have then they've pressed buttons, signed up to stuff, obviously that are tied to their parents' cards. I imagine, knowing the FTC, that is probably what they're looking at. Not everyone else.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, sounds like an FTC thing.
Probably.
But, it's... If there's more clarification on it, folks, then we will obviously speak about it at a later point. I just question the whole thing about it. It's like, where's this going, and why are you doing it like this? What's going to be the full effect on it? Because as stated, it's not aimed at PlayStation. It's just saying that it might be a possibility that this will affect them as well. So, again, folks, this type of stuff we recommend you look into yourselves, just so then you make sure you have all the facts yourselves. Because again, this is a bit of a not really too sure how to feel about this one. But
Once we know and find out more, we will obviously report it.
that's
So
exactly
be
why
safe.
we bring this to your attention, folks. So then, stuff that may have slipped by, then doesn't get looked upon, and then surprise, this has happened. So, demo. Next one for you.
Yeah, so this is also from Gaming Bible, and this is published on the 15th of October. The Witcher fans rejoice. Geralt and Ciri officially return in 2025. Um, and the article's by someone called Kate Harold, and they said, as much as it pains them to say it, The Witcher 4 is likely still several years away from release, having only entered the development after a lengthy pre-production phase. The Witcher 4 is, of course, only a don't even know that word, something title. CD Projekt Red hasn't actually confirmed the game's name, simply referring it to the next installment in the Witcher series.
I would say a pipe dream in a minute.
A bit, yeah, basically. It'll follow from the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, but the game is set to start a new protagonist and kickstart a new trilogy. In the meantime, a delightful little release is on the way in the form of the comic book collection. The Little Witcher will reunite Ciri and Geralt in May of 2025. Created by Del Rey Books and Penguin Random House, with illustrations by Guido Carboni, The Little Witcher centers around a young Ciri being raised by her monster-slaying dad Geralt.
I was going to say, the fact they're bringing it back, doesn't that mean that one of the endings would then actually technically be classed as canon?
Potentially. It also continues on to state that The Little Witcher has been made with younger readers in mind, so this could be a nice way to introduce the little ones in your life to the world of one of your favourite video games.
True, but considering the fact that the Witcher games are, 18 plus games, so...
But it's a way to bring in the lore of it in case, a kid comes up to you and asks about it because someone's spoken to them about it,
Alright, that's
so
fair.
it'll be like an age-appropriate book, so it will obviously not have all the 18 plus
That's
parts
fair.
to do with it.
I have one concern. Possibly that will apparently launch another trilogy. The last game that tried to basically do something like that was a big one. Mass Effect. Andromeda. That was meant to be the start of another trilogy. Never happened. And a lot of people...
We'll have to see what the future holds out. Because, obviously, it would be nice if they do actually go ahead and do another trilogy. But
It depends on how number 4 goes. It depends on how that goes. On whether it would be worth doing another trilogy. Because again, it is still a long way down the line. And I don't know about you, Damo, but I still hope to actually be doing the podcast by the time they actually do it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, 100%.
So, would I actually like to see a Witcher 4? Yes. And knowing the company behind them, provided nothing happens like acquisitions or complete destruction, which currently consists, when you look at the gaming companies currently, the chances of that are on either side are, well, higher than I would like. So we shall see where the company and the people behind it actually are further down the line. Is there any more on that one?
On that article, no.
So a cartoon mainly aimed, a comic book aimed at the younger audience.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I've got essentially 2 articles that essentially blend together for the most part, so... As we spoke about last time, Nintendo are essentially going on somewhat of a warpath, and to which have caused a lot of people to be very concerned in regards of the future. And thank you just for subscribing for 4 months in a row. Very much appreciate it, my dude.
Very nice.
So with Nintendo obviously having basically declared essentially its war on essentially Power World and basically a bunch of other things in a war of patent stuff. This next one is going to be somewhat concerning. And this is coming from comicbook.com and was sent to me by Ivy, and I have looked into it, and it is for a few other people are actually saying about this. Not many, but so the Nintendo Switch, Switch Lite, and Switch OLED users have been warned by fellow users that a recent update to the console is causing all types of problems. With Nintendo Switch 2 on the horizon and support for the current Nintendo Switch slowing down as a result, some Switches out there are no doubt collecting dust. However, those still using the Switch, whether to play Super Mario Party Jamboree or Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom or any other game, will want to be wary of the recent 19.0.0 firmware update. And this article, by the way, was posted on the 19th of October. So, if you actually are using your Switch, what people have said in regards of this is that when you got it in the dock or handheld, and it's basically whether you're playing it or on standby, it has been starting to run warm, which is concerning.
Oh, yes.
Now, it has been pointed out that this has kind of been going on longer than this. Some have pointed out. It could be indicative of a much larger problem within the Switch hardware itself, or an earlier update being the issue. Whichever the case, though, there's enough documented incidents here to suggest that this is not an isolated incident. At the moment that the article was published, there's been no comment on the matter made by Nintendo. If this changes, obviously we will let you guys know, or I may make a statement about it on social media. Because, this is kind of a big thing. And it's kind of funny how this has literally come out around about the same time that they've now added a new... literally, the day before the article was published... and Nintendo then announced the latest addition to their N64 emulator on the Switch, for those that have Nintendo Switch Online Plus. Sorry, expansion. They have added a Banjo-Tooie. Now, why am I bringing this up exactly? Normally, I wouldn't bring up, obviously, when they are announcing new expansions on their emulators, unless I felt there was something warranted. What I have seen as a result of this, because I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, was the fact that there are a lot of people on social media that are like, Microsoft may want to speak to Nintendo about this. And it's like, Banjo-Kazooie / Tooie were a Nintendo game before they were owned by Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Rare was not owned by Microsoft at the time when it was released, so
exactly. It would have been originally under Nintendo, so legality of things, as long as it's the older titles, that was originally
no, they were an independent. They were independent, and they just decided to exclusively make stuff for the Nintendo. They made the original Donkey Kong Country. They made some of the games that a lot of people thoroughly enjoy, and yet I'm seeing, I can only assume, is Xbox fanboys jumping up and down saying that Rare need to watch themselves, that they're treading dangerous territory. It's like, fuck off.
Mate, I remember when Banjo-Kazooie was back on the fucking Nintendo Wii, and even the Game Boy before that?
Yeah. Well, Banjo-Kazooie was actually one it first appeared on Nintendo 64. And one person in the responses was, which not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind actually seeing on the emulator, was Conker. if you remember that foul-mouthed game, people were actually
Somewhat.
wanting that. Now, I did see something earlier. I haven't actually obviously posted it in our usual place demo because I wasn't quite sure. But apparently, there are teasers coming from Nintendo that some people may be looking a little bit too much into, but suggesting that they're going to be adding the GameCube list of games to their emulators.
Jesus.
Which, I'm going to say this, would actually be a good thing considering how much they've actually been attacking emulators.
Yeah.
If they were doing that, then it would, and if they've been attacking emulators because they were intending on actually doing this themselves, do I think it's a kind of a bad thing they've been going about it this way? Yes. Would I be happy about a lot of the GameCube games coming onto the Switch's emulator? Yes. What's concerned a lot of people in regards of this, though, is considering the fact that with apparently the Switch 2 now being kind of on the horizon, it's making people wonder if they actually are going to be doing this yet, or they're going to put it when the Switch 2 comes out.
Got a point.
Which, not gonna lie, if they were gonna do it, doing it on the Switch 2 would make sense. But again, these are only like little teasers that people have then decided to look into, and when I looked into this, it did seem like people may or may not be looking too much into this. I've been hopeful that we're going to get something like this. Hell, I've been hoping that they're actually going to put in the old school Pokemon games on their emulators. Because if they did that, then guarantee a lot of people would be happy. Like, because guess what? That'd be another cursed name run. The old school Pokemon games, cursed name run style. Could you imagine that shit? That shit would be hilarious. Because they've got the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance on there. Why not add the Pokemon games on there? I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that difficult. Because if they want to stop emulators, then they maybe want to start adding stuff like that to the emulators. To the emulators they currently have. Because if they want to make money off of it, why not put the stuff where people want it? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I know a few people that would actually be down for it. Like, hell, put Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 on the emulators. I'm not gonna lie, out of all the ones, I'd be playing Pokemon Crystal. I fucking love that one. Just because Suicune's fucking awesome. But yes, demo. Next one.
Sorry, I was just eating some chocolate. So this one is from GamesRadar.com. And this is the title. RuneScape dev reveals Unreal Engine 5 survival game set in the MMO's universe accidentally blocks players from signing up due to Steam shenanigans. Which is also released on the 15th of October as well. But the update is the sign up Steam issue has now been fixed, which is the main thing. But the RuneScape developer Jagex is finally back to discussing the open world survival game it first cryptically announced it back in 2022. But eager fans who have been waiting years to hear more about RuneScape spin-off had to climb one final mountain. Steam IDs being too long.
Sorry. So the issue that they had, they fixed.
Yeah.
Now the only other thing is Steam IDs.
Yeah, so that bit's now been fixed. That was the issue. But the thing is, Jagex is actually developing a new survival game set in the RuneScape universe using Unreal Engine 5.
Well, fingers crossed, because they tried something outside of the original RuneScape, I think, many years ago, and that didn't exactly go too well.
Well, listen to this.
Go on.
The official old school RuneScape Twitter account posted on on October 15th saying we know Jagex is at his best when we're working with players, so we're looking to recruit playtesters for our closed alpha. This reads like your account got hacked and is trying to fish people, said one weary reply. Pardon me. But no, the announcement actually was genuine, and even if it wasn't, any nefarious phishing scheme would have fallen through anyway. But yeah, the sign-up sheet Jagex posted was only allowing fans to submit their information if they added their 16-digit Steam ID. The only problem is that Steam IDs are 17 digits. One person took it upon themselves to tag the FBI just in case. Jagex quickly resolved the issue without any government intervention, so now as long as you have a PC as well as Steam and Discord accounts, you'll be able to sign up with the chance to playtest to test out the new survival game, which has barely any details publicly available, and the sign-up sheet reveals that the alpha test will only be available in English, and that Jagex is hoping to have playtesters try their new game for at least 10 hours.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, but it's the fact that someone had to tag the fucking FBI. Like,
I mean, when it comes to the old school games, they usually have like the most wild communities.
Honestly, though, I remember playing that shit when I was a kid.
I never did.
Like, for some reason, like, I went through like this massive MMO phase that lasted from like the age of 8 to about 17.
I was gonna say it hasn't really ended, really.
Well, no, but it was really strong in those days. Like, it was at one point, like throughout that phase, for a good like I think 3-4 years, the only MMO I would genuinely play, well, there was actually 2, but one of them shut down now, was literally RuneScape. And I still can't, like, I keep forgetting the name of it, but the other one that shut down.
I still remember that actually some people actually say that the hardest MMO game to ever exist was Club Penguin.
Yes and no.
A lot. No, seriously, I would disagree with him because obviously that wasn't obviously the case, but it's still funny to see.
But that's the thing, though. Yes and no. It depends on the perspective. Like, there was parts of that MMO that I fucking despised, and what I mean by that is, like, I didn't mind playing the pizza one, but one wrong ingredient, or you're like 2 seconds too late, you're fucked.
Never tried doing a Cooking Mama speed run.
No, this was on Club Penguin.
I know.
You can actually create pizzas on the game.
No, I know, but I've seen someone do a Cooking Mama speed run, and yeah, that shit was hell.
I can only imagine, honestly. I can only imagine. But yeah, like... But for me, the bitchiest MMO would actually have had to have been RuneScape. Because you got to think, like, you can get your levels for, like, mining and stuff like that. There's so many things you can level up, and it takes forever.
Yeah. It's a very grindy game.
Yeah.
Is that all for that one?
That is all for that one, yeah.
So, I've got an interesting article for us. So, I'm going to start off with like this. So, obviously, with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's recent success, I believe having, I think I read somewhere that they'd sold like 3 million copies already. Mm-hmm. Which is not a surprise. Dragon Ball is a very good franchise and one that is always guaranteed to grab people, especially if they do it right.
Naturally.
So you'd have thought Bandai Namco would be living the dream. You know, you'd have thought, you know, they're doing great. You know, they'd be over the moon. Tekken 8's somewhat doing okay. Like, you'd have thought so many things. Well, Bandai Namco has reportedly cancelled several titles and is cutting its workforce.
Why?
Here's where things get a little bit interesting, and I'm not too pleased, considering. I work for a company that actually pulled that shit on other people. The company is reportedly pushing employees to leave rather than firing them. Yep. This is coming from videogameschronicle.com. Bandai Namco is reportedly reducing its workforce and has cancelled several titles, including games featuring the One Piece and Naruto licenses. Not gonna lie, about fucking time, I'm sick of both of those licenses. As well as a contract project with Nintendo. According to Bloomberg, citing sources familiar with the matter, the company is taking a traditionally Japanese approach to reducing staff and sending workers to rooms where they are given nothing to do, putting pressure on them to leave voluntarily. Not gonna lie, if I was sent off to a place to literally do nothing, as long as I have my phone, I'll take a paycheck. Bandai Namco Studios has reportedly moved 200 workers to such rooms, leading to almost 100 resignations. A representative of Bandai Namco told Bloomberg, "Our decisions to discontinue games are based on comprehensive assessments of the situation. Some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they are assigned their next project, but we do move forward with assignments as new projects emerge." There is no organisation like the Oidashi Bayer, a Bandai Namco Studios designed to pressure people to leave voluntarily. Oidashi Bayer is a practice used by Japanese corporations to isolate employees by giving them no tasks, in an effort to give them to leave of their own volition rather than let them go and receive severance. Yeah. Bandai Namco's latest release, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, has seen strong initial sales. This game, developed by Spike Chunsoft, surpassed a total of 3 million units sold worldwide in 24 hours after its launch, according to the publisher. So, kind of makes me question what the fuck's going on behind the scenes over there. I get there may be people just sat there twiddling their thumbs, considering things, but if you're gonna cancel projects, then you're gonna get that. Then you're gonna have people literally sat there. If you're trying to get them to leave of their own volition, what the hell are you trying to do? Because as soon as you pick up another big project, you're gonna be hiring people again. And I guess it's cheaper to actually hire new people on than fire older employees. I guess it's cheaper to do that way. But it's still a scummy way to do things. Like, I'm sorry, if these people have got actually nothing to do, if they've actually got no tasks, then give them chances to actually maybe they can assist on projects that are currently being worked on.
Exactly.
I get obviously the case of having too many cooks in the kitchen, but, like, for fuck's sake, it's kind of ridiculous. And this may be a bit out there, but I expected a little bit better from Bandai Namco, considering they've made a lot of games that I like.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually surprised at them. And I think I've got a right to say this, I'm slightly appalled. The fact they would do this. But the thing is, it's not just a practice that's done. The whole thing of forcing people to basically quit on their own volition, it's not just a practice that's done over in Japan. Excuse me. It's a practice I've seen happen over here in the UK. And it's a practice I imagine that happens in other countries as well. So, hopefully this doesn't fuck them over in the long run, but it doesn't exactly paint them in a good light.
Not really.
So, we'll see why they've done this. You got one more demo?
Yeah, actually I got 2 Silent Hill ones, if that's okay.
Sure.
Alright, so this one is on Game Rant, the same as the other one in all that fairness, but this one...
Then just combine them.
Apparently, cops called on Silent Hill 2 Remake player. It's published 4 days ago by Sarah Fields. A Silent Hill 2 Remake player has shared a story of getting the cops called on their apartment because of their reactions whilst playing the game. The Bloober team Silent Hill 2 Remake is apparently doing a great job of terrifying its players. If this game's experience is any indication.
Which, not gonna lie, it's kind of funny.
Reddit user Stewie with the posted on Reddit saying the police were called to my apartment because of Silent Hill 2. No exaggeration. I was playing Silent Hill 2 Remake last night and I stopped playing by 10:30 when I heard a pound on my door. And thank God that I stopped playing or that would have made me scream. I was like, hello? And they said, police! And I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, I opened the door and they said my neighbors called the police to check on my apartment because they heard screaming and were concerned. I literally was like, I was playing a video game. At this point, I was internally dying because I couldn't believe Abstract Daddy made me scream to the point where my neighbor thought I was being murdered or something.
At least
the cops laughed.
I was gonna say, at least they didn't hear banging on the door and then someone going,
"Let me smash."
Oh my god. But yeah, the cops laughed a little and said, oh, it was a video game. I play games too, and I felt bad, to be honest, because I was like, I'm sorry I disturbed you guys, but Silent Hill 2 is really scary. But yeah, that's the story of how Silent Hill 2 literally got the cops called to my apartment. Thank you to Luca Prison and Abstract Daddy. Also, I did say my neighbor should have knocked on my door or something, and the cops said that they did, but I didn't answer. I had my headset on and Abstract Daddy was going crazy and I was talking to my friend online, but still, I mean...
That is actually kind of funny. That is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, at least
100%.
At least Silent Hill 2 is living up to the fear factor.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got that to look out for, and I...
Yeah, once you get back on it, once you stop procrastinating.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, next one is also on Game Rant by Jose Rossi. Some Silent Hill 2 remake fans get wrong version of the game. This was published October 9th, but again, I did see this quite late, so...
Then there's no really reason to do that one, because it's like, it's literally like nearly a month old.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like, the fact is, people have actually gotten the wrong version of the game that ordered it. Like, and it's like the Steelbook edition. Because they received Silent Hill Standard Edition, and this is through Game, which, honestly, I'm going to put this out there right now. It's Game.
I mean, I think I covered something, like... I think I spoke about something like this, at least beforehand.
Maybe, but apparently it's happened again.
So people are getting people have actually been getting the wrong versions.
Basically, so instead of Steelbook, they've gotten the normal plastic version.
Tell me they've at least tried to fix that, at least.
I believe they did. Give me 1 second.
Because it's like, I mean, when I pre-ordered from Game, I've not had any issues.
I've had the issue sometimes, but that's why when I pre-order it, I actually go in and collect it instead of getting it delivered.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've always done it.
I've not done it in a while, like pre-ordered a game from Game.
Yes, because we got the internet now.
Exactly.
And most of the time you'll go through either the direct website or
The game...
Amazon.
I don't know, hang on.
Have they not said anything about it being sorted yet?
Nope, not yet.
Well, fingers crossed it actually gets sorted.
Well, yeah, the Steelbook edition costs 65 quid.
Again, fingers crossed. Wonder what their reason was for that. Has there been any statement from Game in regards to that?
Not that I can see on this article, no.
Well, look into that one for next time, Damo.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I have been trying to keep an eye out for the updated version of the article, but I've not seen anything as of yet.
You might want to start looking into like maybe Game's social media, see if they said anything.
Yeah, I mean, I do follow them on Twitter as well, and their main place to post on is Twitter. Sometimes Facebook, so I follow them on both social medias, and they're the first thing that comes up always. And I've not seen anything of them saying they're going to rectify it yet.
So stiffed out of money.
basically.
Yeah,
That's why I was saying it's game, because it has happened to me before.
Yeah.
Where I was meant to get items with mine. If you remember, for the, what game is it called again? Bad Blood? Something like that? Anyway. Back for Blood, there we go.
Ah, that was it.
Anyway, yeah.
Actually,
I was meant to get a few items with it, and I didn't, and I went back in, I said, where's the pre-order stuff? And she said it's all digital. I said, no, it's not. Because I didn't receive a fucking ribbon on the game.
Lordy Lord.
I know.
So fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll have hopefully we'll actually find something out by next time. So, I've got one more article. 6 months after Yoko Taro thanked fans for archiving his work on Nier and Drakengard, two games I love, that were done by Square Enix, Square Enix is shutting them down.
The fuck?
Accord's Library is a fan project aimed at gathering and archiving all of Yoko Taro's work, including all of the side material created alongside beloved RPGs like Nier and Drakengard. If you don't know what Drakengard is, you need to look into it, because it's basically one of the endings in the Drakengard series results in the Nier series taking place. Earlier this year, Yoko Taro himself gave the site a hearty thank you, but now Square Enix has taken notice and is shutting the whole thing down. These past few years have been a pleasure, but we regret to inform you all that we've been contacted by the Square Enix legal team, the Accord's Library organisers say in a Discord message, and after some private communications based on the outlined requirements, we have come to the conclusion that Accord's Library must close its doors by the end of the month.
Damn.
While we are sad we have to go, we must also respect the wishes of the legal team. The library and gallery will remain opened for the next 2 weeks and will be officially closed on October 31st. The Accord's Library site includes a library of materials related to both Nier and Drakengard, including official guides, short stories, and manga expanding the game's shared universe. In some cases, the site includes scans of these books and unofficial translations, which is likely the core of what Square Enix took to exception to. Nonetheless, Yoko Taro himself seems to appreciate the site's work. The director famously wears a mask in basically all of his public appearances, and he got in contact with the site back in April to request the removal of a video showing his face. Alongside that request, he provided a message of thanks, which was also shared in the Accord's Library Discord. And that's kind of a shame, because while we have Nier Gestalt and slash Replicant and Automata, we don't actually have any other like current gen stuff in regards of Drakengard. They were all PS2 and PS3, which, to anyone that's actually curious about the Nier series and how that essentially started, you may want to play those games, because they then kind of bring about some true understandings on what caused the fall of humanity. And I've got to say this, it wasn't actually humanity's fault. That's all I'm saying on that one, because it's like, it's a shame. And not a move I was hoping they wouldn't make, but not surprising. Seems a lot of places are, a lot of companies are attacking and taking down places and stuff in regards of their IPs. So it's sad. It is sad to actually see. You got any more demo?
Nope.
Alright. Then with that case, folks, that is actually going to be it for this episode of the Thin Crust Flopcast. Thank you as always, Damo, for joining me.
Anytime.
And to everyone that's actually watched this, either here live or on YouTube, I hope you well, enjoy the rest of your day. And if you want to catch any of these, but you've not actually subscribed to the YouTube channel, go to youtube.com/ChaosDragon49 and look up the playlist. I'll have all of the Flopcasts, all the way from back when I started this, back in a Genshin map I made, to now. And you'll see the evolution of the Flopcast. But with that being said, though, where can people find you one more time, Damo?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/itsdamoo, over on TikTok, itsdamootv, and over on Twitter, twitter.com/partywithknives.
Yee. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, make sure you go check out those sites to see Damo's other actions. And with that being said, though, folks, we will catch you all in the next time. The next episode will air on the 4th of November.
Whoop whoop.
Indeed, whoop whoop. So, with that being said, though, folks, raise your pizzas high and say it with me. Stay chaotic and live for the challenge.
The challenge. Ooh.
Bye-bye.
Bye.